the Dawgs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Josh All, your host here on a Tuesday morning, just a couple days removed from yet another loss for the Cleveland Browns here in 2025. Now 2-8 on the season after going down to the Baltimore Ravens at home in a game that, like we said on Sunday night after the game, the Ravens really didn't seem to want to win. They were not too interested in coming into Cleveland and making a statement against the Browns, their division rivals. I mean, honestly, it really sucks. It's kind of been the story for a lot of games so far this season. Browns had every opportunity right in front of them to win that game and just couldn't do it. I've seen a lot of people online blaming Shedeur Sanders for losing the game, which I don't quite understand. I've seen people say that if Dillon Gabriel had played the second half, the Browns would definitely have won. I don't know where people are getting that either, considering we had the ball at the 6-yard line after a Ravens muffed punt and couldn't score a touchdown. Ran 3 plays and had to kick a field goal. And that was with Dillon Gabriel at quarterback. So I don't know. We need to talk about the dynamic here with this team. And we also need to talk about Mary Kay Cabot's report yesterday. Yep, she put out an article that said Shedeur Sanders will start on Sunday against the Raiders. It was not a most likely will start or in line to start. She flat out said he will start. And she's basing that on the fact that yesterday Kevin Stefanski said Dillon Gabriel obviously is still in the concussion protocol. And she's going off of past, history and everything like that with the NFL, which we talked about Sunday as well, that players that enter the concussion protocol like that do not get cleared the following week. So like she said in her write-up, barring an unforeseen circumstance, Shedeur Sanders will start Sunday against the Raiders. And those unforeseen circumstances are somehow Dillon Gabriel magically gets cleared from concussion protocol before Sunday. That's one. 2, Shedeur Sanders, it comes out that he's got another one of these injuries, an oblique strain, a shoulder soreness, back tightness, something like that. Don't rule it out. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not sitting here trying to be conspiracy theory, but don't rule out some weird report later this week that Shedeur Sanders, maybe tomorrow, Wednesday on the practice report, it'll come out. Zach Jackson, those guys, the media people up there in Berea are going to come out on Twitter and say, Shedeur Sanders not seen at the beginning of practice, open to the media. Probably won't happen, but man, that would be very interesting if it did. So we'll dive into a whole bunch of this stuff here today. Remember, if you guys want to be part of our Dog Pack community, get more involved with us, have 24/7 conversations with all the great, amazing, diehard Browns fans in that community, it's jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. We play fantasy football in the Dog Pack every year. We've got, what do we have this year? 8 leagues. I think we have 8 leagues, 3 dynasty leagues going on. It's insane. So if you want to get ahead of that for next year, sign up now. And you also get to be part of the Dog Pack Discord episodes that I do every Thursday evening, afternoon, however you want to look at it. It's like a live call-in radio show in the Discord. You can come up, ask questions, talk, give your thoughts and opinions on the Browns team and all that good stuff. So jointhedogs.com for all of that awesome stuff. Okay. So where do we want to begin today? Let's talk about this real quick. The Cleveland Browns offense. And I said this on Sunday as well. The Cleveland Browns offense is easily the worst offense I have ever watched. I've never seen an offense more inept, more untalented, less talented, I guess would be the right way to say that, Josh. Get your grammar right here on a Tuesday morning. This team blows. Like on the offensive side of the ball, in all of the years that I don't know if an NFL team has ever put out a worse product on offense. I mean, KT Leviston is your backup tackle. That's your backup swing tackle. If one of your starters goes out, you got to bring in KT Leviston. Are you freaking kidding me? This guy. Okay, so let's go look at KT Leviston real quick. Okay, scratch that. We're not going to look KT Leviston because PFF, apparently their website has crashed. So whatever. Glad I pay for that nonsense. Anyhow, whatever. I'm in a mood this morning. Probably because I didn't sleep a whole lot. It's early and I finally got my kid to sleep. So I don't even know. Anyway, let's move on here. So Shedeur Sanders is going to theoretically be starting Sunday behind an offensive line that I have not seen any updates yet on the statuses for Cam Robinson and Jack Conklin, but Cam Robinson had to leave the game. I believe that was a knee injury, wasn't it? Yes. Sorry, guys. I didn't even have time to put notes together today because my kid fell asleep and I was like, oh, put him down and get the podcast. Let's go. So we've got from Kevin Stefanski's press conference yesterday, Jack Conklin, Cam Robinson, both knee injuries, and he says we're going to treat those day to day. Now, if those two guys can't play, okay, or even one of them, that means KT Leviston is on your offensive line, and we've talked so much about how this tackle situation is killing the Browns, just absolutely killing them. They can't block anybody, and this is a Raiders team with Mason freaking Crosby on the defensive line. I don't even know who else they have. I got to go and look up everything about the Raiders to prep for Thursday's preview show, but I do know they have Max Crosby, and I do know he is a monster. He is going to terrorize our offensive line and Shedeur Sanders. So it's going to be a lot of know where you're going with the ball and get it out quick because this tackle situation is terrible. You got Dom Jones, the cornerback who was called up from the practice squad. He left with a significant knee injury, according to Kevin, said he is likely heading to IR. And then Dillon Gabriel obviously remains in concussion protocol. I'm having a really tough time today. I hope you guys can bear with me on this. But going back to my point about how bad this offense is, and it starts up front with this offensive line being atrocious. You know, the receivers are bad. The quarterback play has been terrible this year. We can't run the freaking ball, even though Quinshawn, he's doing everything he can to try to get the team yards. There's nothing to be had. And what sucks so much about this is it has been 15 straight games that the Browns offense has failed to generate more than 17 points. It's unbelievable. And I know people will say, well, what about the Miami game? We scored 31. We scored 31 points as a team. We had 7 points from Tyson Campbell's pick six. And then we got another touchdown, 7 more points off of, was it Grant Delpit? Who had the interception? I think it was Hickman. Ronnie Hickman had an interception, returned it to the 2. And that's where Quinshawn punched it in on that direct snap. So that's not the offense generating points. That's just finishing off what the defense started. So that's 14 points generated. That's not scored, but generated by the defense against the Dolphins. Browns offense only generated 17. We have not generated more than 17 points on offense in the last 15 straight games. And then if you want to go back even further, it has been three games out of the last 29 games, only 3 has the Browns offense generated more than 17 points. Think about that. That's almost 1 out of every 10 games. This offense is able to generate more than 17 points. No wonder we're 5-22 over the last 2 seasons. This is a bit, and I've harped on this offensive situation all season, obviously, because it is just, it's glaringly, this is the issue with the team. And it just grinds my gears because that's Kevin Stefanski's side of the ball. That is his specialty. And the thing is, people will say, well, look at the personnel. You're telling me that the Browns front office wanted to hire an offensive head coach and then provide him with nobody on that side of the ball? This whole operation is dysfunctional and falling apart at the seams. I am ready to clean house. I'm ready to just gut the whole thing. Everybody needs to go. I'm not talking about players. I'm talking about everybody in the regime making the decisions. The coaching, guys, the coaching has been so bad for years now. I mean, across the board. Of course, we're going to have games like we did on Sunday where, hey, special teams made some plays. That's great. You guys are professional athletes playing the sport at the highest level in the world. Yes, you should be able to make a play or two here and there. That's great and wonderful. But overall, the special teams have been a liability for the Browns this year. Defense has been great, but they give up They're going to give up a major play, a big play. They gave up a big run to Derrick Henry. They're going to get gashed at some point. And it's football. It's professional football. It's NFL. These things are going to happen. But if you don't have complementary play between all three phases, you're never going to win a game. And that's what we saw on Sunday. The Browns offense generated 6 points in that game. 6 freaking points. You had a pick six by Devin Bush that put 7 points on the board. And then you had a muffed punt, the Ravens muffed a punt that the Browns got at the 6-yard line and couldn't freaking score a touchdown. We had to kick a field goal. So right there is 10 points generated by the defense and the special teams. Well, not even the special teams, just the fact that they muffed the punt. I'm not giving that as an offensive generated 3 points whenever you got the ball at the 6. We scored 16 points in that game, and 10 points didn't even come from our offense. We generated 6 freaking points. Not going to get the job done. It's not going to get it done. And, there's obviously no fix for it this year. And I'm excited for Shedeur Sanders. We're going to talk about him here and all that kind of stuff. But, I feel like there's been a lot of people online that are kind of angry or doing victory laps over his performance on Sunday and saying, oh, everybody wanted to see Shedeur. I'm glad you guys got what you wanted. Guys, he came in the second half off the bench in a game that Kevin himself said afterwards, these were the first snaps that Shedeur Sanders has ever taken with the first team offense. Wyatt Teller after the game came out and said, I'm pretty sure that was the first time I've ever heard his cadence. The offensive line got together right before the second half and did a couple practice snaps or whatever, I think in the tunnel or something like that, or on the sideline, just to try to learn what Shedeur Sanders' cadence is. What do you want this offense, what do you want this quarterback to do when the offensive line doesn't even know your snap count or has no familiarity, no experience with you taking snaps? Shedeur Sanders after the game said that was the first pass he's ever thrown to Jerry Jeudy. The Browns' number one wide receiver has never seen a pass come his way from Shedeur Sanders, not in preseason, practice, training camp, nothing. There's been no rapport between these receivers and this quarterback. And he has been here since April. And that's kind of where I've taken some heat from some people, but I think most people probably agree with me online. And I put some polls out there. It's roughly 90% of Browns fans and people out there want to see Shedeur Sanders continue to play and start for the Browns. So 9 out of 10 people are ready for Shedeur, done with Dillon. And there's been former NFL quarterbacks, backups, and stuff like that have come out and said, the backup quarterback never takes reps during practice. Like this isn't something weird. This isn't something new. Like Shedeur shouldn't be taking reps during practice. And my pushback on all of that has been, this Browns quarterback situation is not normal. There's nothing typical or usual or normal about this situation. The Browns drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks, which we've questioned it since the beginning, the way they did it. And looking back on it now was totally stupid. Just totally stupid. And another reason why I want this regime gone, they just do stupid things. But it makes no sense the way if you're going to do this, then the way you've handled it has been stupid. It really has. And let's talk about it because so the people will say backup quarterbacks don't take first team reps in practice. Then why was Dillon Gabriel taking first team reps when he was the backup quarterback behind Joe Flacco? Okay. People don't really have a good response for that other than, well, Joe Flacco is old and been around forever. He doesn't need all the reps. Okay. So can't you use the same argument for Shedeur Sanders? Shedeur Sanders is young and has no experience. He really does need reps in practice. You're one freaking play away from being in the game like we saw on Sunday, and you're not preparing this guy for that situation if it comes up. That's on coaching. That is 100% on coaching. You didn't have this guy prepared to come in on Sunday. I don't care what anybody says. He wasn't prepared. The offensive line didn't know his cadence. These receivers have never received a pass from him. in practice ever. People are wondering why he came out and was 4 for 16 and struggled in the second half. They don't have him ready. They have been giving first-team reps to Dillon Gabriel since the day he got in Berea. They handed them to him. They just said, here, we believe in you so much. We like you so much. We want you to succeed so much. Here's first-team opportunities right out of the gate. Dillon Gabriel, and I don't want this to come across. I've said this before. We've done this. I feel like I've done this show a million times. I like Dillon Gabriel as a person, as a player. I think he's a good guy. But in the situation for my football team, this pisses me off. This kid, this rookie, this third-round rookie did nothing to earn first-team reps. Nothing. They just handed them to him. Said, we are putting you in position. We believe that you can be a starter for this team and you will start for this team this year. That was predetermined. Immediately in the draft. And, giving a veteran quarterback a couple games to start the season was kind of just a formality at that point. Because, like I said, predetermined, Dillon Gabriel was going to be the starter for the Browns this season. Why? Hell, I don't know. What did Kevin or AB or anybody see in this kid and the thing is, people say, well, you guys were okay with Dillon Gabriel pick back when it happened. Well, we kind of had to be. First of all, no, we weren't. We were very confused as to why it happened. And then we went back and we were looking at stats and things from college. We're like, okay, whatever. He's kind of interesting. Maybe this could be sneaky or whatever. I think Blake said that a bunch. Like, I'm sneaky interested in Dillon Gabriel. Come on. What did you guys see on the film? Like, the Browns scouting department, what are you watching on the tape that you said, oh, we have got to use this third round pick on Dillon Gabriel? And then for Kevin and the coaching staff to say, we have got to make sure he is our starter this year. What are we doing? And then to go back to the whole draft thing being dumb, like, first of all, and these were my reactions when it happened. It was late on, I guess that'd been Friday night. I'm watching the draft. Pick comes in. I want to see who the Browns take. Dillon Gabriel out of Oregon. I was like, what? Hadn't even talked about it. I've never once said his name in the entire pre-draft process and all of the, the draft and prospect episodes and breakdowns that I did all throughout that process. Never once was Dillon Gabriel in any of my research or anything. So it was just kind of out of left field. I'm like, okay, well, Dillon Gabriel, interesting. There was a lot of guys on the board that I liked still at that point, but that's what the Browns wanted to do. So, and at that point, it kept coming through like, are the Browns going to take Shedeur at this pick? How about this pick? Because, all these teams that need quarterbacks keep passing on Shedeur Sanders. And then the Browns take Dillon Gabriel. It's like, well, Shedeur's off our board completely because we just took our quarterback. So Saturday comes around, sitting there watching the draft, not expecting anything, thinking maybe we'll take an offensive lineman or something. Now, why would we take an offensive lineman? Who needs those guys? Or a receiver, who needs those guys? No, we trade 2 picks to move back up in the 5th round to get Shedeur Sanders. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And immediately everything about Dillon Gabriel just went out the door. Because it's like, it doesn't matter what this kid does. The focus is going to be on Shedeur Sanders now. You took the guy that everybody mocked you taking at number 2 overall at 144. And now everybody just wants to see what he can do in the NFL, because even before the draft, everybody wanted to see what he could do in the NFL. So you put a limit, an expiration date on Dillon Gabriel's opportunity, no matter how he performed. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he comes out this season as the starter over his 5 starts and looks decent or has some wow plays or whatever. It does not matter at that point in the draft what the future looks like for Dillon Gabriel. You have an expiration date on him because you drafted Shedeur Sanders. That makes me think even more it was not Kevin's decision to do that. I don't think he was on board with that. So now here we are, and we knew we were a play away from Shedeur coming in, and it happened. Dillon Gabriel goes out with a concussion. Shedeur Sanders comes in. He's totally unprepared. And now you've got this rift among the fan base and media people and everything saying, that this is the way it's supposed to be. These guys are not supposed to get practice reps. And other people saying, why wouldn't you have him ready to go? I'm definitely on the side of you've got 2 rookie quarterbacks, and that's it. One's your starter, one's your backup. And if you're only focusing and preparing one of those guys for the game and giving one of those guys reps with the starters, that's on the coaching staff. That's malpractice for the coaching. I'm sorry. You've got to get both these guys ready. At least, and I'm not saying 50-50 split. I'm saying Shedeur needs to come in and get some practice reps each day during the week leading up to the game. He needs to get some reps with the offensive line, the starters, with the starting receivers, just to get a little bit of experience and rapport with those guys. And you saw exactly why that's important and what the effect is of not having it when he came in on Sunday. And I know that a lot of the same people who are trying to defend Dillon Gabriel and have been saying, well, you can't judge Dillon Gabriel after 5 starts, are the same people already saying that Shedeur Sanders is a bust after 1/2 of unprepared football. This episode is sponsored by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, I know Thanksgiving is the next thing on the list, but if you're in my house, we have had Christmas decorated all over the place since November 1st. That's right. It is coming up very quickly, Christmas time. And the best thing you can do is get ahead of your gift giving list and go to boddensports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and check out everything they have to offer and use promo code DAWGS to get 10% off your entire order. You could find some really nice Christmas gifts for the athletes in your life. Obviously, baseball season would be right around the corner in the spring. They've got training balls. They've got regular game baseballs, bats, baseball gloves, all sorts of basketballs and other gear, pumps, ball bags, gym bags, things like that for your basketball players. And then the gifts that I really like to give family members and people like that would be the backyard games. Get those for Christmas gifts because then they can hold on to those and break them out when the weather gets nice. And it's like that Christmas gift that didn't get used right away at Christmas, and they get to experience that joy again later in the year. Badminton, outdoor volleyball, bocce, horseshoes, kickball. They've got a knockout game set. And of course, pickleball, which I know I've been saying on here I need to learn how to play. I haven't yet, but I do plan to learn at some point, and I will be getting my first pickleball set from Bodden Sports. So head over to boddensports.com/dogs and get 10% off your entire order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. That's Bodden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs. All right, so I apologize. I wanted to do this episode for you guys and get this knocked out early in the morning because, again, I have no control over my child's sleeping schedule during the day. He dictates everything in this household right now. Apparently nothing online is working. I can't get PFF to load. I can't even get Twitter to load. So there were some things I wanted to pull up and look at, and I just unfortunately am unable to do it because I don't know what's going on out there in the world. Did something crash? Are we under the zombie apocalypse? I have no idea. Anyway, you guys are going to watch this and laugh because probably nothing happened or nothing's going on with your internet, and for some reason mine is just, I can't get anything to load. It's driving me nuts. But, I just wanted to talk about this team and the organization, Shedeur Sanders starting on Sunday with, against the Raiders. And we'll do the preview on Thursday like we always do, but I just kind of want to get out in front of it and say, one, it's a road game. Our defense does not travel. We've seen that. Guys, we lost to the Jets. Okay? We lost to the I've seen people say, oh, well, we're going to beat the Raiders. Slow your roll on that one. We lost to the Jets. Now, if the Jets came to Cleveland and played, I 100% guarantee we'd have won that game. Guarantee it. It is the strangest phenomenon that the Browns defense, same players, same scheme, same coaching, 2 completely different units when you're at home versus when you're on the road. I don't get it. It is so weird. I understand there being somewhat of a differentiation between the output home and away, just because obviously you got your home fan base, you got the away fan, there's some of that energy in the stadium noise and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But it's so drastic for the Browns defense. It's unreal that they can be so dominant. Like they're like the number 1 defense, baby. They are elite when they are in Cleveland. You get them out of Cleveland and in some away stadium, I don't even know who they are. It's like they're imposters. So weird. So that's why on Sunday against the Raiders, I'm like, let's just hang back because, Geno Smith and that Raiders offense has not been looking good at all. But guys, we lost to Justin Fields and the Jets offense. The Raiders are definitely better than the Jets. Geno Smith is better than Justin Fields. They've got Ashton Genty. They've got Brock Bowers. Like, they've got some dudes on offense, and it does concern me against our road defense. Our special teams is known for making some blunders on the road, and our offense is our offense. So I do feel like Shedeur Sanders is going to have the cards, the deck stacked against him, which sucks. But I'm excited to see what a week of preparation and an actual week of practice reps. Just get some reps, get some timing, get some rhythm down with your line, with your running backs, with your receivers. And let's see if we can, carve out some of those bad habits that we've seen, the drifting in the pocket, the taking the big sacks, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of that we talked about this during the pre-draft process, a lot of that stuff stems from Shedeur trying to make plays downfield. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to have your eyes downfield, waiting for the guy to come open, waiting for the big play, all that kind of stuff. But you have got to know your internal clock and when it's either time to dirt the ball, throw it out of bounds, or hit the check down. With the Browns offensive line, your internal clock needs to be adjusted by about a second and a half. So if you're thinking after 3 seconds, this ball needs to be gone, you better about a second and a half. If you hit 2 seconds, you better be getting rid of that ball because we're just not going to give you the time to hold on to it and to make a play. And lo and behold, PFF has loaded. All right, we can talk about some stuff. I do appreciate you guys just kind of hanging with me through this one. I know this episode's probably been more rough than a lot of the ones I do because, like I said, didn't have a chance putting notes together, trying to get this done before my kid wakes up. And, the thing with let me just aside here for all you parents out there, I want to know in the comments, like, how crazy is your nap schedule with your kid? Because I know there's like sleep training and all this other stuff. For us, it doesn't work. Like, he sleeps when he wants to sleep and he's up when he wants to be up. And, it's almost 8 o'clock a.m. right now, my time. He was up so much during the night that now he's actually getting his sleep. He might wake up at 8:30. He might wake up at 9. He might not go back to sleep until 9 tonight. That's the thing. It's insane. It is. I'm like, at some point, you got to take a nap, right? You got to be tired. Not this kid. Not this kid. All right, so back to PFF. We got some stats loaded up here. The pass blocking is rough. So if you want to go like just looking at the grades, just strictly looking at the grades, let's see, we've got Cam Robinson only took 6 pass blocking snaps in the whole game before he was out. You got Posick, Teller, Bitonio, the interior of your line, all with a 75 grade or higher. Okay. Your tackles, KT Leviston and the other starter, Jack Conklin. KT Leviston had a higher grade than Jack Conklin. He had 54. Jack Conklin was at 47. These tackles are terrible. Oh my goodness. They each gave up, let's see, KT Leviston was charged with 2 sacks, Jack Conklin 1, and those were the only sacks in the game on that. So it's rough. It is rough on that offensive line. And then to look at like the passing breakdown stuff for Shedeur Sanders, if you look at his splits, like we ran 3 play action passes with Shedeur Sanders. He completed 1 of them for 5 yards. And then the other 18 were no play action. He actually completed 3 out of 13 pass attempts with no play action for 42 yards. He obviously had 47 total for the game, for the half, I should say. And then if you want to look at, let's see, like passing depth, this is all stuff I usually look at before the show. Deep passing, he attempted 3, completed 1 for 25 yards. That was the nice pass down the field. I think it was the dig route to Harold Fannin Jr. That was a great strike down the field. Medium, which is what I always harp on about being the area you got to be good at. He attempted 2 passes between 10 and 19 yards, completed none. And then short passes were 8 attempts, 3 completions for 22 yards. His interception came in that medium intermediate range of the field. So just to give you guys some ideas on that, I don't think any of it really matters. to be honest with you. I look at the stats, I look at the numbers, these metrics from the game on Sunday for Shedeur, and it's like, I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me because he wasn't supposed to be in the game. He wasn't prepared to be in the game. So I don't really care how it looked. Honestly, that's about what I expected. I was like, this is going to be a struggle for no matter who plays quarterback for the Browns. Do I expect things to look better on Sunday against the Raiders? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little. You let me know in the comments what you guys think about Shedeur Sanders starting Sunday. What do you expect? What are you watching for? Because if we're going to say, you can't judge Dillon Gabriel after one start, well, we're not going to be able to judge Shedeur Sanders after one start either, whether it's good or bad. Blake said that Sunday night. He could come out and light it up on Sunday, and we're not going to sit here and say, answer found. QB savior of the franchise, we're good to go. Check it off the list. It's just one game. We got to see how it looks. I'm looking for some improvements on timing with the ball in the pocket, some better decision-making on, if he's getting pressure, find your check down quick. Don't try to force the ball. His interception was a play where he tried to force the ball to a spot that he never should have even attempted to throw that because the corner, it was the easiest interception in the world. The cornerback was wide open by himself over there. That route was completely taken away. And, can we sustain drives? Can we pick up third downs? Can we move the ball down the field? Can we actually generate some points on offense? Can Shedeur Sanders do enough in the passing game that it opens up the run game and gives Quinshon Judkins some opportunity to pick up some yards and make some plays? Those are the types of things that we need to see. And it's all going to be very difficult to come by with the offensive line play. But we'll see how it goes. I did want to bring up real quick Shedeur's press conference after the game. I thought, again, I don't really listen to the press conferences too much. I'll watch the clips a little bit, but I really like to just go actually read the transcripts because then I can get a better idea of what was actually said a lot of times. So he was asked, how do you think you played in that game? And he said, I don't think I played good. I don't think I played good at all. So very, very upfront with it. Like he knows it didn't go well for him. He said, I think it's a lot of things, here's where it got interesting. We need to look, a lot of things we need to look at during the week and go and just get comfortable, even throwing routes, with Jerry Jeudy and throwing routes with all those guys. So I think that was my first ball to him all year. But other than that, I just think overall, we just got to get out next week and understood. So then we have a week to prepare stuff I like to do. So get him in there, get him those reps, get him prepped with this team and this offense and everything else. The other thing that was interesting that he said, and I wanted to point this out, but he was talking about the fans when they asked him, do you notice a reaction from the fans when you came into the game? And were you able to soak all of that in? And he said, yeah, I'm extremely thankful. But first, let me say this. When Dillon out there playing and all that, I appreciate the fans. I appreciate everybody. And he's talking about when they're chanting, we want Shedeur, or whatever they're chanting to get Dillon out and get him in. He says, but I'm a good person overall, so I don't really like Dillon not feeling comfortable or confident when he gets out there. So it puts everything in a tough spot, and it's not helping the team. He said, so that could be taken as, okay, I'm being a distraction, even though I ain't doing that. He says, even though I'm not doing nothing. So basically, stop chanting for Shedeur when Dillon's in the game because he's even out here saying, that doesn't help us. That doesn't help us win games or be able to do what we want to do on offense. So I felt like that was a cool leadership moment for him. He wasn't asked anything about that specifically. That wasn't the point of the question. And he felt the need to put that in there. But then he continued to say, I'm very thankful for the fans. I'm thankful for the support. And I just want to go out there and do the best I can and all that stuff. So it's going to be an interesting week. It's going to be an interesting Sunday. It's going to be an interesting game. We do have an opportunity here to make a statement. The Raiders are a very bad football team overall. The Browns are a very bad football team on the road overall. So it's going to be a matchup of suck once again, just like it was in New York. We'll see how it goes.
This episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. Browns fans, there's nothing better than seeing people's faces light up when they receive your gifts for Christmas, and nothing lights their faces up more than a gift package from Omaha Steaks. From holiday hosting to unforgettable gifts, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. I've been getting everybody in my family gift packages from Omaha Steaks for years, and they love it. They've actually come to expect it. So I make sure every year I have to deliver. And right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. During Omaha Steaks Sizzle All the Way sale, you guys can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo code BARK, B-A-R-K, at checkout. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. So right now, save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale, and for an extra $35 off, use promo code BARK at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, code BARK. All right, so I want to get to a voicemail here. This one's from Connor. First of all, thank you guys for sending in voicemails. It really, it's awesome to hear from you. And if you want to send in a voicemail, get your thoughts and questions on the show, go to www.thedawgspodcast and tap leave voicemail in the drop-down menu. There's a section there, and you can record the voicemail, or you can just type a message and send it to us, and we'll get that and read it on the show. We've done that before. So this voicemail from Connor, here, let's listen to it real quick, and then I'll talk about it.
Hey, boys. I just had a question for Blake. I was wondering what he thought of Kevin already coming out and said that if Dillon clears the concussion protocol, which doesn't normally happen, but if it did, right? I mean, we're going to see Dillon ultimately on Sunday against the Raiders. And I just wanted to know what the insight was of him already going back to Dillon. Does he not see that Dillon can't make those sideline-to-sideline throws or throw the ball deep down the field? Now, I know Shedeur didn't look good by any stretch of imagination, but you could just see a little bit of touch on the ball, a little bit of juice, he showed a little bit of heart running for a first down. Shedeur made a few throws that were better than anything Dillon's put together in 6 weeks now. So, I mean, is Stefanski not watching the games? Because you got Shedeur Sanders, who doesn't have the reps, hasn't had much for him, and then Dillon has had everything at his disposal. And, I mean, he's getting ready to go back with Dillon for whatever reason. I mean, it looks like he's skipping rocks when he throws the ball, But with that being said, go Dogs. Ooh.
Okay, again, thanks, Connor, for the voicemail. Yeah, it does look like Dillon's skipping freaking rocks whenever he's throwing the ball out there. And, obviously you said the question was for Blake, but we won't get Blake on the show again until Sunday night. And at that point, the game will be over and we'll know who started. And that point will be moot, at least for the time being. As far as what does Kevin see with Dillon Gabriel? I don't know. I have no idea. I talked about that already here. The whole, what did you guys see in the film? What did you guys see in your private workouts from this kid that you thought, man, we just have to use the 3rd round pick? And then not only that, but we have to make damn sure he starts this season by all means. I don't know. It is mind blowing to continue to watch them put him out there. But you guys know, my opinion, Connor, on the whole Kevin Stefanski thing. And Blake's kind of coming onto that too a little bit. He has said in weeks past, if Kevin continues to put Dillon out there, that's where he's going to start souring on Kevin. I am full spoiled milk on Kevin Stefanski. Get him out of here. Get this whole coaching staff, this whole regime, get everybody out of here. I'm done. I am done. We have got to purge this organization from all this losing nonsense. I want Andrew Berry gone. I want Kevin gone. I want just get rid of everybody. They suck. They suck. You've won 5 games in 2 years. Get out. Just get out. It's time for somebody else. Get out. I don't know, Connor. I don't know what the deal is with Dillon, but you know that no matter what here on Sunday, let's talk about that for a second. So let's say the report from Mary Kay and everything like that all comes to fruition. Dillon Gabriel, he's out with concussion, and Shedeur Sanders preps all week, and he is the starter Sunday. And let's say that Shedeur comes out and looks good in the game, and the Browns win. Okay. And then Dillon Gabriel, clears concussion protocol on Monday next week. You want to talk about drama in Cleveland? Things could get very interesting, because even if Shedeur Sanders plays well this weekend in Vegas and the Browns win, Stefanski will go back to Dillon Gabriel as soon as he's healthy. You can't change my mind until I hear Kevin or somebody within the Browns organization, some authority figure, say that we are moving forward with Shedeur Sanders as our starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. Until I hear that statement made, I will bet everything that Kevin goes back to Dillon as soon as he's healthy. It does not matter what Shedeur does this week. Doesn't matter. Dillon Gabriel will be the starter the following week at home against the 49ers if he's healthy. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? Connor, if you're out there listening, drop it in the comment. What do you think? How will you guys respond as Browns fans if Shedeur Sanders plays well this week and the Browns win, or even if they don't win? Just say he plays well. Say his performance looks great and the Browns lose because the defense sucks or the special teams gives up two touchdowns again or something, whatever. But Shedeur looks good. And then Dillon clears concussion protocol next week and Kevin is right back to Dillon's our starter. How are you guys going to react to that? Let me know your thoughts. I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say about that. All right, so we got a second voicemail here today. This one is from Grant. This is interesting.
Hey, what's up, Dog Pack faithful? It's your boy Grant coming at you from small town Iowa. Woo woo. I will start by saying I am a Dillon Gabriel backer. I watched my UCF. I watched my Boomer at Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. Took down Bama. Let's go. Loving it. And I watched him at Oregon. He played great, honestly. And I do think he has what it takes to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think we can all agree that he is just in a bad spot, right? We can all agree the O-line for the Browns, it sucks. The wide receivers, not that great. The coaching staff and all that, the other regime between wide receivers and special teams, it's just not that great, right? So let's just speak honestly here. I think Dillon Gabriel got drafted in a bad spot, and I think Shedeur, even if Shedeur could ball out, I don't think him balling out is going to be enough to do anything good for the Browns. It could be a spark, maybe, I don't know. I know Blake thought he saw a little bit of juice behind the Browns when he came in against the Ravens on Sunday. I didn't really see it. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Let's go, Browns. Woo-hoo.
All right, thank you, Grant, for the voicemail. So you are one of the, like I said, 9 out of 10 Browns fans, at least based on all the polls and everything that I've put out on all the social medias and all of our followers. 9 out of 10 want to see Shedeur Sanders moving forward, and they're done with Dillon Gabriel. You are that one, my friend, Grant. You are the 1 of 10, my man, who still wants Dillon Gabriel. Listen, we thought that there might be an opportunity, maybe, like we said, sneaky interested with Dillon after the draft and all that stuff, but everything. And this goes back to training camp. It was like Zach Jackson, Darryl Ryder, the guys who were there watching the practices every day. They posted every single day. Dillon Gabriel does not look like an NFL quarterback. We heard that repeated so many times. And then he gets on the field, and I understand that you think he's looked good, but I personally, man, I just don't see it. I don't think he looks like an NFL quarterback. He can't make the throws. We talked on Sunday. Shedeur on the first drive made a throw out to the sideline to Cedric Tillman, and he hit him in stride to the sideline, and it's a pass that I've seen Dillon over and over skip to the sideline. That thing would hit the hash marks and bounce twice before it ever got to Cedric Tillman. So there is part of me that wonders, okay? And this is where I'll give you a little bit, Grant. There is a part of me that wonders if Dillon Gabriel wouldn't look a little bit better somewhere else. And this is just because every quarterback lately that we have seen play for Kevin Stefanski in the Browns offense has looked better somewhere else. The most recent, obviously, is Joe Flacco. And it's not, and people will say, well, it's just Joe Flacco has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Okay, forget about that for a second. Forget about the players and the personnel. Joe Flacco himself, the man, the 40-year-old, physically looks different in Cincinnati than he looked here. I don't care who he's throwing to. In Cleveland, when Joe Flacco tried to throw the ball down the field, it looked like he had a dead arm. It looked like he couldn't. We said he was washed.
We said he was old and busted. We said that it doesn't work anymore. He can't play the position. That was our takeaway from Joe Flacco in Cleveland was he can't play the position anymore. He's too old. He doesn't have the arm strength. We said that. And we say the same things about Dillon Gabriel. He doesn't have the arm strength. He can't play the position. He doesn't have the physical tools. We said the same thing about Deshaun Watson last year. We said the same thing about everybody who's played quarterback for the Browns. And they go somewhere else and it's like, well, maybe we were wrong. Maybe it's just us. I'll give you that. There might be something to it. Now, do I think that Dillon Gabriel will go to another team or could go to another team and actually be a starting NFL quarterback? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Do I think he could go somewhere else and look a little better? Probably. It wouldn't surprise me. Everybody does. We suck. This offense is terrible. So, thank you for the voicemail and continue to do your Dillon Gabriel thing. I applaud you for being outright and vocal about it. That is awesome. You're going to take a lot of heat, I think, from most Browns fans who are done with this experiment. But, stick to your guns, man. Stick to your guns. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate the voicemail. Thanks for calling in and showing all of us that there are the Dillon Gabriel supporters out there and giving your side of the coin on that one because we don't see it. But it's cool that somebody out there does. And again, it could very well, a lot of how bad he looks could be the offense. I don't know. It very well could be. Everybody looks bad here. Just is what it is. But hopefully, he's obviously we don't wish injury on anybody. We want Dillon to be okay. CT is a real thing, so we don't want him to be dealing with any long-term effects. We saw Cedric Tillman last year missed the entire second half of the season for the most part with a concussion. So hopefully Dillon's okay and everything, and he can come back. But, going back to Connor's voicemail, Grant, I do firmly believe that Dillon Gabriel will be the starter again, probably as soon as next Sunday. So just if you like Dillon Gabriel, you want to see more of him, stay tuned because I guarantee you will. All right, well, I feel like that was a great way to wrap up the show. Thank you guys for sending in the voicemails. Again, I apologize for this show being a little more just off kilter because I did not have time to prepare any notes or anything like that. Half the time today, I felt like, Twitter and PFF and stuff just weren't loading. They were popping up with server errors and everything on their website. So whatever. But I wanted to get this show done and get the content out to you guys. Talk about Shedeur Sanders. Most likely, well, according to Mary Kay Cabot, definitely starting on Sunday against the Raiders. I just wanted to get this information out and give you guys an opportunity to interact, respond, post your thoughts and feelings in the comments so we can get back with you guys and all that kind of good stuff. It's so much fun hearing from you guys, and that's why we do the show. It's by the fans, for the fans, and you guys are the best fans in the world, and just appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you want to be part of our dog pack, our exclusive community of Browns fans for the show, it's an awesome place to be. That's jointhedawgs.com. Go check it out. It's just $5 a month on Patreon. It's like I always say, you're donating 1 cup of coffee per month to our show to be a part of that group. It's really not anything you're going to miss, but all of you guys supporting the show really helps us out, continue to grow, continue to be able to do things like these Tuesday episodes. When we first started this show, it was 1 episode a week. That was it. And if it was during the season, we had to recap the game and preview the next game all in one day, and it was usually on Monday. So we had the entire week of things coming out and news and all that stuff for the upcoming game, but we had already done our preview because we could only get together once. It's all we could afford to do. Now we can do these shows. We can be more current with all the news and keeping you guys up to date, and it's just a ton of fun. So thank you again. That's jointhedawgs.com for your support and to be part of our dog pack community. Again, I will see you guys. If you are in the dog pack, I'll see you live in the Discord on Thursday for the preview show. And if you're not in the dog pack, you guys will see that episode after it's released. And, we'll keep you guys up to date on all the news and everything. Follow our socials at the Dawgs Podcast everywhere to stay up to date in the interim. And with that being said, we will see you guys on Thursday for the preview of Shedeur Sanders' first NFL start, most likely on Sunday for the Browns against the Raiders. Have a good week, guys. We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.